KWT slaying.
Salama family, salama. How y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. Today we have Minister Tayu with us. Say hi, Minister Tayu.
Salama family, greetings.
So family, before we get started, just to let y'all know, I've been out of pocket. If I'm out of pocket, I'm dealing with some health issues, and so asking for your prayers. Serving the Most High can be challenging sometimes, but it's worth it. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is, once again, my view on things, and we're going to use some common sense, right? Although I have learned over the years that common sense is really, really not common. And we're gonna talk about what happened over the last week, and the last few months. Really, there's just strange, weird stuff going on, and you have to put into perspective things we've discussed in past videos. And we talked about how places like Texas, where I'm at, and Ohio and Oklahoma and all of them are putting in a lot of measures for all of the visitors, right? The coming to watch the eclipse. But you and I know that it makes no sense because they're shutting down the schools, right? They're preparing for an influx of visitors. They're saying that the hotels are going to be full. Now, I'm going to explain why I think that's partially true, but not for the reasons that they say. All right, so let me get started here. Now, you all know what happened, last few days. So the question is, what does this mean? What does it mean? Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. That's all I got to say. What?
I double that.
So emergency alert. We just had an earthquake in Vermont. In Vermont. Vermont doesn't have earthquakes. We do not have earthquakes, and we just had a earthquake. Tell me something's not up.
What does it mean? What does it mean? Why all of the preparations? Why are the schools shutting down? Why are they're making way for a mass influx of people, right? A mass influx of people into Texas and Ohio and Oklahoma. Why are they saying that? It's because everyone is so concerned about seeing a 4-minute event in the sky, right? It makes no sense. Why are they uh, bringing in National Guard, right? What do they know that we don't know?
And what, frankly, they wish maybe they had done differently. In response, we've taken specific steps to attempt to ease traffic congestion after the eclipse is over. There are also plans in place to support first responders in the most crowded communities if necessary. We also need the cooperation of everyone traveling to the path of totality from other parts of the state and around the country. We've been encouraging everyone to plan ahead, get there early, stay late, and as EMA Director Sima says, bring your patients with you, pack your patients. One of the things that we have seen in other states and we would expect is the most crowded situation will be immediately after the eclipse is over. And then everyone wants to go home. And so that is where we expect to see the most traffic. Again, this is an event that simply needs to be managed the best way that we can with the influx, rather dramatic influx of people that we expect. So we are prepared for that, and we certainly are monitoring that. I think the two dangers that people need to worry about, particularly, are traffic related. Again, people are going to have to be patient, take their time, and expect very, very heavy traffic. I think the other one, of course, is everyone has heard the warnings about looking directly at the sun. Everyone's heard the warnings about having the right glasses. Again, that would be the second area of danger, I think, for people. So we think it's going to be a good weekend and good Monday. But again, we are ready. I'm going to introduce Sima Merrick.
All right, so they're ready for an event that is going to last for 4 minutes. That they have told us to store up water and make sure our gas tanks are full and make sure we have food supplies. These are the steps that you take for preparation for a major calamity. These are the steps that you take where FEMA gets involved. These are the steps you take for a Katrina-like situation. These are the types of things that you put in place when there's what? An earthquake, right? But, we're supposed to think all of this foolishness is because that a lot of people are going to be traveling to see the sun obscured for 4 minutes. See, this is why I said common sense has to be used. But common sense ain't always common. And so, when people, like me come in and say, hey, maybe you should take this a little seriously. Maybe you should stock up on some food and some water and maybe you should fill up your gas tank because this don't look right. Minister Tate.
Well, Minister Yacoba, I'm the big skeptic normally around all of these things. I just like wait and see. Something's wrong with all this. They got my attention with this, right? They got my attention, and I'm not just talking about. I mean, just the eclipse alone with the X and the Nineveh. Hint, hint. Messiah says, repent, right? Nineveh, you got a chance to repent, and you didn't repent, right? Hint, hint. But yet, New York gets an earthquake. Gold goes to 2,300 and out. I went through Katrina. I escaped Katrina. But, that's when they set up the National Guard. That's when they set up the highways and prepare for things. But yet, I experienced Mardi Gras. You know how many people come to Mardi Gras? Hey, they don't do that, right? So, as Minister Yacoba said, let's apply some common sense. What are they really preparing for? Something's just off, right? And as that woman said in the video, Virginia doesn't get earthquakes, New York doesn't get earthquakes, but yet these massive buildings are shaking. What's next? What is the Most High sending out their way? Right?
See, this makes zero sense. I work at Dallas County and we're closed Monday. Those who can telework are advised to do so. Come on now. Let's use common sense.
For a 4-minute eclipse.
Yeah. For this mass invasion of people who coming to all of these states to see a 4-minute event, which I don't think any of us know anybody going on vacation in any states to go see this thing for 4 minutes, to take vacation time for 4 minutes and then go back home. Come on now, please.
Yeah, who's booking that hotel for the eclipse, right? They treat it like it's a tourist attraction, but yet you need National Guard. You need people to stay home. You don't do that for a tourist attraction, right? Something's going on here, in my opinion.
And see, to be honest, I wasn't going to do a show, because I'm concentrating on my healing. But I said, if I don't warn y'all, there's something amiss, right? So, I had to come out here and do it because everybody ain't going to be prepared. Everybody ain't going to be ready. And you, in my opinion, at least, you should be ready to step. I'm not saying anything going to happen because I'm not the Most High. But this don't make no sense, right? I'm using common sense, and it don't make no sense. Now, let's look at some more stuff.
Sorry, but the New York earthquake, that get a lot bigger. And just real quick, we'll go over some things you probably have heard already, and then we'll go over the scary things you haven't heard. Yesterday, I just shared how lightning hit the hand of Apollo. I mean, Statue of Liberty. And I mean the hand, the torch. So then we had this 4.8 earthquake. Well, the eclipse is 4.8. And 2 hours later, Brazil had a 4.8 earthquake. Of course, 4.8. Before we go any further, it's all speculation. This is all alleged. It's all my opinion. I also just showed you last week this trail of earthquakes going up the eclipse route. Well, where the eclipse hit was called White House Station. And our earthquake map is off the charts right now. I just showed you in this video that in the last 3 days, Japan and Taiwan both had big earthquakes. Now, this right here is the scary part to me. This made me reevaluate and relook into the earthquake map. The central mid-Atlantic ridge has had about 10 earthquakes in the last 3 or 4 days. Why does that matter? There have been thousands and thousands of people that had a dream that all of the east coast of New York were underwater. This light blue line is the mid-Atlantic ridge. Now, with really big earthquakes, you usually have smaller earthquakes that lead up to them. What would happen if there's a major plate shift in the mid-Atlantic ridge? Maybe things going underwater. I mean, we've literally had like 50,000 earthquakes over the last month. I forget the exact number. And the Earth's frequency has been off the charts. Not to mention 5 incredibly strong storm paths going right along that line I showed you. Now let me take you back to 1811, which was when they had a total solar eclipse. And then 3 months later, for 4 months straight, they had massive earthquakes all around America. But the widely available illustrations we have of this 1811, 1812 earthquake literally show things coming from the sky. That's weird. If you haven't by now, you'll eventually find that everything works in perfect patterns, numbers, letters, frequencies, things happening in the atmosphere. This map is really starting to look plausible, isn't it? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comment.
Now, doesn't it make more sense that something like this, what he was talking about, is what they're preparing for, right? With the National Guard, with the need for managing the influx of masses of people, right? Migrating a major event, right? That makes sense. And so we have all these things going on, and they're not telling you the truth because, they don't, how it is. You watch the movies. We don't want the masses to panic. But then they got to manage all of these people that's going to be flooding into this place. Now, listen to what this particular guy says. Pay close attention.
Whoa. What did the Anchor and Foxes say? The strongest earthquake in 140 years, John.
Look at all of that. And it's not over yet because we've got the Eclipse earthquake coming up on Monday. As Deborah Ross was telling us, it's going to be a transformative experience for anybody who is in the area of totality.
An eclipse earthquake? Was that a Freudian slip? What does he mean by that? That's pretty weird. But you know what else is weird? The earthquake in Lebanon, New Jersey was at 4.8 on the Richter scale, and Monday is April 8th, 4.8. And what did he mean by transformative experience for those in the path of totality? He said that all ominous like. Yikes. I guess we're going to watch and wait, but yeah.
So the anchor said an eclipse earthquake. Does it not make sense?
That's equivalent to when the media talked about Tower 7 collapsing before it collapsed, speaking foreknowledge.
But we're fearmongers, Minister, tell you, when we say you're gonna have to flee. I'm not gonna have to flee. Okay. Maybe you look like somebody gonna be fleeing.
Somebody gonna be fleeing. And if that flooding hits these states like that, I could see a lot of people who say they'd never go to Africa all of a sudden going to Africa. Why? Because your land is flooded. I mean, this is looking strange.
Now let's look at a little scripture here. Hebrews 12:27. And this word yet once more signified the removing of those things that are shaken, as of things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain. The Most High is shaking his place. We told y'all before it was popular, right? Before everybody jumped on board and start talking about the eclipse and judgment and last days, we told y'all way back in 2016 when it wasn't popular, hey, it's the fall of the Gentile powers. Hey, America's under judgment. Hey, we're about to leave. Hey, but they say, hey, don't listen to Tell. They don't know what they're talking about. But guess what? Once again, look like your co-bandmate to tell you had been proven possibly correct. Now, I'm just saying, look, I ain't taking no glory. All I'm saying is sometimes you got to listen with the spirit. You got to listen with the spirit because people are here to deceive you, right? That's one of the biggest messages, that I've been trying to give y'all for a long time.
Coastlines, they know about this. They know this is going to happen. This is why some of them might try to write it out, and they're buying bunkers. They're getting ready. They're getting prepared. They can see it. I believe this is why they're speeding up a lot of what they're doing. They need to use up the United States and all its resources and money to get the New World agenda going because they know this is going to happen in America, and they'll have to jump ship to the United Nations. I mean, they've already made projections. They got illustrations, they got maps and graphs of what they think is going to happen if something like that does hit. Because if it does hit, it's going to trigger fault lines and volcanoes. I believe they're saying Yellowstone has got more time based off the other eruptions compared to today. But if something like that hits and it drastically changes everything in this area, I can see Yellowstone going up.
So, what do you think? Using your common sense. That's what I want to know. And yes, we've been called conspiracy theorists, right? That's what they call people who are sensitive to the Spirit of the Most High. Because what happens, they always accuse the prophets. Like I say, I don't claim to be a prophet, but that's sort of what comes with the territory, right? And remember, Israelites were having dreams, Gentiles were having dreams long before all of this. Excuse me. And so now it look like we're here. And see, this at least to me makes sense of why I'm always under attack, right? Because, the Most High, he does seem to reveal a lot of stuff to me. And now we're here. And the people that says this, see, this is the thing that gets me. People say America not Babylon. And they say the Vatican's Babylon. But Babylon is falling and becoming the habitation of every foul spirit and demon. I'm like, if you ever saw any city, state, nation, whatever, falling right now in the process of mass free fall, Would it not be American minister to you? That's all I want to ask. I'm just saying.
I never seen anything like what's happening to America, right? She's done 400 years of coasting. She's done 400 years of, destroying other civilizations and not having anything happen to her. But now we see all kinds of judgments. It's like she has no control over what happens to her land. I mean, what was it? Taiwan and Japan had an earthquake, 4.8. Immediately after that, New York has an earthquake, 4.8. And now we're about to have an eclipse on 4.8. It's just too much. It's too much. I'm like, if nothing happened, I'll be surprised because I'm king of skeptics, and I'm like, this is beyond skepticism at this point. I don't even know how to explain what seems to be happening.
And it makes it very hard for me because I'm always fighting. If y'all know, I'm always fighting through health lately. And it's wearisome. It's struggling. It's a struggle. And my brother, I tell you, it ain't easy for us. You know what I'm saying? And all we ever do is get beat up. And the reason why I guess I'm being and moaning right now is because I am sick, right? And I get tired. But I had to come out here because something is amiss. And y'all need to be prepared. You need to have your cars gassed up. You need to have some food for the road when you get on the road. Now, hey, if nothing happens, great. Praise the Most High. Right? Praise the Most High if nothing happens. But you need to be ready to be the first ones out. You need to be the ones ready to get on that road before everybody else, right? Because it's going to be clogged. And think about it, too, when it comes to the bridges that were shut down, blown up, whatever you call it. I don't know what happened to them bridges. You know what I'm saying? I'm being PC. It's going to be harder leaving. That's why you got to use spiritual discernment, right?
We're planning for a mass casualty event that
I'm
day.
sorry, what?
But that's not really our worry. Our worry is how do we get our heart attacks and our stroke patients?
Why
to
would
the
there be a
emergency
mass
department if
casualty
the
event the
roads
day
are
of the eclipse?
completely at a gridlock and we can't get EMS either to
She
a
said
patient
they're planning
or
for
back to
2
the
years.
hospital.
They've been planning for
So this
2
is our
years.
command center here at COTS. Here in the COTS Command Center, available hospital beds across the state are tracked every day. They report every day. They're available med-surg beds, ICU beds, how many patients are boarding the emergency department. Every morning, all the hospitals update that information. And is that over here? So yeah, this is what it looks like for our region today.
This is probably one of the largest planned events the state of Ohio has ever seen.
Matthew Akers is the Director of Safety and Emergency Management for Ohio Health.
We're looking at the population heading in the north central region, and we're planning for traffic delays. Is probably the biggest threat we're looking at right now is what's that gridlock? If there's an accident on 71 or 23, how does that impact the region?
He says hospital staff is being asked to work late or come in early.
We've altered some of our practices, whether it's with appointments or elective surgeries, to make sure we're not discharging patients right at the end of the eclipse when traffic gridlock could happen. Somebody had a procedure, and they're stuck in traffic for hours.
Keller says critical hospital supplies have been beefed up and extra blood units have already been moved to area hospitals, so it's there if somebody needs it. We wanted everyone to be prepared. We're not only worried about our hospitals, but we are worried about all of our healthcare agencies in the region. She says the team is ready, but hopefully all that help won't be needed.
Come on now. Are they not preparing for a mass casualty event? Come on now. Give me a 1 if you think they're preparing for a mass casualty event. Give me a 2 if there's nothing to worry about. Now, Minister, tell you, go ahead and read Exodus 4:8.
All right, Exodus 4:8. Then the Lord said, if they do not believe you or pay attention to the first sign, they may believe the second. Thanks, Sister Shonda, for that.
So they're preparing hospitals with blood for heart attacks and things, preparing for mass issues on the highways because of all of this traffic. It don't make sense. See, like I said, everybody don't have common sense, y'all. I'm sorry, they don't. look, you could put all the evidence in the world in front of them. They're not going to see it. At least, if nothing happens, at least you got to say they were planning for something to happen, right, Minister Tell you? At the very least.
Clearly, they're preparing for more than a 4-minute eclipse.
Luke 21:26, men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Seems to me like we're here. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm seeing things. Now they talk about the earthquakes, right? And we saw the earthquakes in Jersey, and other places, I'm not even talking about the earthquakes that happen in Thailand and other places, right? This is just in Babylon, right? Which I believe to be America. But some of you all don't, because, hey, that's your business. But there's earthquakes, and then the guys were talking about the separation of, certain states because of flooding, right? Because of the water. It sort of brings me to Revelation 16:18-20. Then there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and a severe earthquake. No earthquake like it has ever occurred since mankind has been on earth. So tremendous was the quake. The great city, which is what? Babylon, which is what? America, split into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations collapsed. Yahuwah remembered Babylon the great and gave her the cup filled with the wine of the fury of his wrath. Every island fled away, and the mountains could not be found. But ain't nothing to see here, y'all. Don't worry about it. Ain't nothing gonna happen, though they're preparing as if something's going to happen. What do you think of this scripture, Mr. T?
I mean, it lines up with what we think is about to happen and what's being presented to us. I guess time will tell, but I mean, if you look at everything in totality, don't forget Ukraine, don't forget Russia, don't forget that NATO is not giving Russia a way to bring this thing to an end. So it's going to escalate. So, that's another element to this time period that we're living in. I mean, as we said way back in 2019, 2016, really, this is the new normal. There's no going back. This is the new normal. Why? Because her judgment is here. And the Most High made a promise, and he's keeping his promise. And now we're seeing that. And I'm like, I tell my brother, when I see these things, I say the Most High is faithful. I'm like, as completely defeated as the true biblical Israelites have been by our enemies, totally subjected even on the continent under their foot. Every other nation totally last on the list, totally under their thumb, but yet the Most High is coming for us. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. He's faithful.
So the Most High said, with outstretched arm and fury poured out, he's going to get us and bring us back. Did we not talk about this being the time of our second Exodus, that it is near? Nobody knows the specific time, but we could see the signs. And now we're seeing fury poured out. Now, add to that, we're in the season of the Passover. Maybe it's all coincidence, maybe not. I tell you, I'm ready to leave. I'm tired of getting beat up. I'm tired of getting sick. I'm tired of all this foolishness. I'm tired of people accusing me of stuff. I'm tired of all that. I'm ready to go.
So, Minister Yakoba, when does coincidence cease to be coincidence?
As
you like to say.
Yeah, I agree with you. But for some people, it ain't enough of evidence for, for them, right? So look, like I say, at the
that's because they have another agenda besides a Yah agenda. That's the only reason.
Yeah. And I have to say this, look, at the very minimum, a person with common sense have to admit, this ain't right. Something's strange. This is weird. It don't make sense. A person with common sense, but like I said, common sense ain't common. I've learned that over the years. So with all of that, we got this happening. We got the earthquakes. We got the plan for some mass casualty event, as I see, right? Which foretells, at least, or illustrates the fall of Babylon. As we have said from day one, since Tell Ministries went live, we talked about the fall of Babylon, day one. And where we at now? Look like America's falling, but America's not Babylon. It's the Vatican.
She used to say, I sit as a queen and am no widow. And we observed her being untouchable no matter what she did, no matter what nation she harmed. She's untouchable. She sits as a queen, but she can't avoid what the Most High is bringing today.
So I'm going to try to move a little faster because I'm not feeling too great, but let's continue. So we also know that there's the opening of the veil. Things are happening, people are seeing things, and now they're making excuses for it. And I've shared this at tellministries.com. This is a new sickness that people have, right? It's like staring at demons. Meet a man who lives with a disturbing condition, all at the time that all of this foolishness is happening. For 59-year-old Victor Shara, the terrifying symptoms began on a winter day in Nashville. I just woke up and was sitting on the couch watching TV when my roommate came into the room, and looking at him, I'm like, what am I seeing? Then his girlfriend walked in and her face was the same. Each of the once familiar faces had a grotesque grimace. Elongated eyes and deeply etched scars. When turned to the side, pointy ears suddenly appeared, he said, much like those of Spock the Vulcan, first officer of the USS Enterprise. Now, they call this condition PMO. It is prosopometamorphosia, PMO. How many of you all saw the movie They Live? Give me a 1 if you've seen that. Give me a 2 if you haven't. Now, in They Live, here's the curious part. They had people who were of the elite, and they worked underground and they worked with aliens to take over the planet. The only ones who could see were the ones who had the glasses. And guess who created the glasses? It was a black pastor in a church. Not only that, you had a bunch of people who were homeless. Is that not what we see today? Not only that, guess the year that the global elite was supposed to take over the world. Guess the year. I'm going to tell you. Tell me what year the globalist elite who were working with the aliens, who had funny faces, right, that only those with eyes could see. What year were the global elite to take over?
If I recall, 2025 to 2030.
2025. You can look at this as coincidence if you want. But how many people remember this?
Okay, guys, watch.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Do y'all remember that one?
We have one that can see.
We have one that can see. And now we have more than one that can see.
Yes,
The veil has been rendered open. Now, maybe CERN has something to do with all of this, right? But guess what? Nothing to see here. It's mass delusion. It's a psychosis. It's a mass psychosis, right? Nothing to see here. These people crazy. They're seeing things.
Bro, y'all won't believe what I just saw last night, bro. Alright, so boom, today's April 4th. This happened around 2, 3 a.m. Literally, bro. Me and my homeboy, we got done hooping from the gym outside, y'all. This was Curlton, Plano, Frisco area, around that area, y'all. So if y'all live around that area, please be careful. We were hooping outside. We go to Quick Trip at night. Anytime in the morning time, middle time, at night, we go there to get our snacks and our drinks after we get done hooping to go home. So boom, as we park, because everybody parked, knowing the parking lot is empty. It's in the morning, like early. The parking lot empty. The sky is clear. It's only a moon showing, bro. As we walked inside there, bro, as we walking up inside the bro, I promise you, it was a lady in the middle of the parking lot. When I told you this lady eyes was pure black on my soul, like she's got, bro, her eyes was black on my mama. You see the white parts on my eyes, her eyes was black. Like, bro, when I tell you, me and my homeboy looked at her, bro, like she was just like this. I promise you, like looking at the sky like this. Like, bro, I promise you, bro. And then I promise, man, y'all gonna think this is not kept. This is not trying to be funny. It's not no skit, none of that, bro. I'm telling y'all, me and my two homeboys, if you know me personally, just add me, bro. You will know the two homeboys I'll be around every single day. Bro, when I tell you this is exactly what she did, bro. She said, they started smiling, I promise you, bro. Like, but her, man, bro, her smile went all the way up. Bro, man, y'all don't think I'm capping, bro. This is real stuff, bro. I'm not capping about none of this. And the only crazy part about this, bro, because like 2, 3 days ago, I seen a dude who was terrified talking about he saw the same thing inside the store, bro. What me and bro seen, listen, I don't take no drugs. I never took no type of drug. I never smoked drunk a day in my life. I'm not doing this for no skit. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not just capping, bro. This is real stuff. I literally saw, me and my two homeboys saw this early morning, 2, 3 a.m. at Quick Trip, a lady in the middle of the parking lot. I don't know what's going on, bro. I don't know if they talking about the April 8th, whatever going on in the world, fam. Y'all be safe because some demonic shit up inside the world. Bro, what I saw, bro, just be safe, bro.
What's your thoughts, Mr. Taylor?
All I could think is I'm not going anywhere April 8th. I'm locking my door.
Yo, I'm not looking out the window or nothing. Here's my final video because I gotta go get out of here.
I've been seeing this video all over TikTok. This video was recorded on December 17th, 2023 in Mexico. A lot of people are horrified by the shape because it looks like a biblical depiction of an angel. And at one point you can see it looks kind of like it's moving around or shape-shifting while it's in the sky. It even has that little eye shape in the center. This is what the object looks like while it's still and zoomed in. And I mean, it does have the same shape as a biblical representation of an angel. It's more common for us to see globos de Cantoya or lanterns that look like this, but people are getting pretty artistic nowadays. I found this video of a very artistic version of a globo de Cantoya in Mexico, so I could see how people would easily mix up the two. I also came across this post from a TikTok user. It was uploaded 4 days ago. You can see a Globo de Cantoya right there, and they were at a festival. It was literally the Festival de Globos de Cantoya.
So I don't know what to tell you. Is it real or is it Memorex? I don't know.
Well, let me ask you, was that, she said it was an angel? I don't know. It looked like a COVID cell to me.
Well, that's based upon Ezekiel. Some of the descriptions people have made of the angels in Ezekiel, the will within will.
Oh,
and all that.
okay. All right, got you.
So look, a brother gotta go because the brother ain't feeling well. But something's happening. They had to come up with a classification for PMO for people seeing weird stuff, seeing people shape shift. You know, their faces changing. They had to come up with a psychosis or whatever they want to classify it as, some neurological disorder that never existed before. All of a sudden in these last days, at the fall of Babylon, the fall of America, all these things happening, when CERN is going to be ran again. It's already running. And people are seeing aliens and demons and weird stuff. Earthquakes, all this stuff. It don't make no sense. I guess we find out tomorrow. It ain't like we got to wait months to see if anything will happen. My theory is that maybe something will happen tomorrow, or maybe something will start happening a few days after the 8th, right? And if something's going to happen. As I said, I'm not predicting anything because I don't know. I'm not the Most High. I told y'all I share with y'all what I see. And I ain't going to let nobody punk me because they might say, oh, Yacoba predicted this, Yacoba predicted that, and it didn't happen. No, I'm sharing with you what I see. It's up for you to eat the meat and spit out the bones. Y'all adults, right? And like I say, I'm taking my time out while I'm sick to warn y'all because something's weird. I need to be sitting down my butt on that bed and resting. But I had to do it, right? Because a lot of people are going to be caught unawares. You can't say I didn't warn you. You can't say I didn't try. You can't say I didn't love you because I'm doing this while I'm not feeling well. But understand this, right? This ministry is for the Most High and for the Most High's people. And we've been warning since 2016. And people didn't listen. And they still don't listen. And we got a very good track record. But guess what? That's not my problem. Everybody got to stand before the Most High. Everybody got to have a relationship with Yeshua. Everybody has to repent for his or her own sins. Right now, whether or not you live in a foul life or not, I wouldn't be living a foul life today. I wouldn't be telling half truths. I wouldn't be lying. I wouldn't be sleeping around. I wouldn't be doing all this because guess what? There's a high probability a lot of people ain't going to be here. Go read Ezekiel 36 and see how the Most High going to judge this world. And he going to bring us back home. I'm just saying, see, I believe the word. And I fear the Most High. And this world ain't worth it. Its money ain't worth it. Its things and its resources ain't worth it. It's all vanity. As Solomon said, it's vanity. I don't care about nothing but the Most High, period, and his people. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all my people. Like I said, whether or not you agree with everything I say and teach, y'all my people, y'all my family. Y'all been persecuted like we've been persecuted. Your family's been persecuted like my family's been persecuted. Your great-great-grandmother been persecuted like my great-great-grandmother been persecuted. And like I said, I'm for the Jew first. I'll do the same for you as I'm doing for my brother here, my little brother, tell you, for my sisters, for my nieces and nephews. I'm doing what I can to help. Now, whether or not anything happens, that's between you and the Most High. Whether or not you listen and take precautions, that's between you and the Most High. You can't say we didn't try, but something's weird. Minister, tell you any final comment?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking, right? The Japanese earthquake, the Taiwan earthquake, and the New York earthquake happened back to back, but it makes you think they're related. And if they're related, how immense is the distance between the two, right? It really brings to my mind that what Minister Yacoba was showing with the flooding, because if we do have an earthquake between those two endpoints, right, between New York, let's say, and Japan, right, the distance is so crazy. To have similar incidences around the same time frame, it makes you think they're related. So even if nothing happens tomorrow, something's coming, right? And what it looks like to me that this flooding could very well happen, right? Because what is the odds? I mean, I'm not a statistician, but New York all the way to Japan within days of each other, and all of them have the same rating of 4.8, right? Now, whether that's some Freemasonic thing and it's not really 4.8, I don't know. But assuming it is, it adds to the idea that these earthquakes are related, even given the distance. And if something's going to happen between those endpoints, I think the whole world about to get flooded. But I'm just thinking. But that's all I have, Minister Yacoa.
All right, fam. So, if y'all want to support us, you can by becoming a patron member. Also, you could give Cash App, $TOTW 7101, $TOTW 7101. Also, you could go and get your mugs at giftgivingforall.com, hoodies, shirts, all that stuff. Look, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and maybe nothing. Because, that's what we used to, right? We all got normalcy bias. It just don't look right to me. That's all I could say, y'all. So peace out. Love y'all. And please support the Dry Bones Project.